Have you ever wondered why America, despite being the world's largest oil producer, still relies so much on Saudi Arabia? And what secret deals keep this partnership alive even today? Let's uncover the powerful and hidden ties between these two nations that shape the entire world. America is currently the largest oil-producing country in the world, yet it remains heavily dependent on Saudi Arabia. But why? When Donald Trump attended a UFC event after winning the elections, he was joined by major names like Dana White, Elon Musk, and also a mysterious Saudi man. Who is this man, and why is he so important that Trump always keeps him close? Also, even after losing the 2020 election, why did Saudi Arabia invest a whopping $2 billion into Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law? Everyone knows Silicon Valley as America's biggest startup hub, but very few people realize that its biggest investor is none other than Saudi Arabia. For years, the US and Saudi Arabia have shared a deep, powerful, and strategic relationship. America has provided military protection to Saudi Arabia, and in return, Saudi Arabia supplies America with oil. This relationship dates back to the early 20th century, when both countries realized the benefits of cooperating. At that time, Saudi Arabia was a poor and isolated nation, with an economy mostly dependent on pilgrims coming for Hajj and Umrah. But everything changed in 1938. After an agreement between the Saudi king Abdulaziz ibn Saud and an American company, Standard Oil of California, massive oil reserves were discovered near the city of Dammam. Overnight, Saudi Arabia transformed from a desert kingdom into the world's largest oil producer. To manage oil production and exports, American oil companies like Chevron and Exxon became deeply involved, and both countries started benefiting. Saudi Arabia supplied oil to the world, while America helped develop Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure and economy. During World War II, oil became the most critical resource. The US and its allies needed a steady oil supply to fuel their military operations. That's when Saudi oil reserves became crucial. In 1943, US President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared Saudi Arabia essential for American defense. By 1945, Roosevelt personally met King Abdulaziz on a US warship, and both signed a historic agreement. America would protect Saudi Arabia militarily. Saudi Arabia would supply oil to America and its allies. During the Cold War, 1950-1990, Saudi Arabia became a key ally of the US to counter Soviet influence in the Middle East. But their relationship faced a big crisis in 1973, when Saudi Arabia led OPEC in imposing an oil embargo on Western nations supporting Israel. This led to a global oil crisis and badly hurt US-Saudi relations. To stabilize things, in 1974, both countries signed the Petrodollar agreement, where Saudi Arabia agreed to sell oil only in US dollars. This made the US dollar the global currency for oil trade, skyrocketing demand for the dollar and strengthening the American economy and financial system. In exchange, America continued to offer military and economic support to Saudi Arabia. %12 of global trade passes through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, making it the second most critical choke point globally. Countries like Iran, which has been a US adversary since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, often threaten to block vital points like the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil supply passes. Any disruption here could collapse economies worldwide. Also, to the north of Saudi Arabia are Iraq and Jordan, which play major roles in America's Middle East military strategy, especially Iraq, which remains a battleground for US and Iranian proxy conflicts. In 1990, when Saddam Hussein attacked Kuwait, Saudi Arabia felt directly threatened as Iraqi troops were near its borders. It requested US help, leading to Operation Desert Shield, where America deployed 500,000 troops in Saudi Arabia and the Gulf. After the Gulf War, America also established permanent military bases in Saudi Arabia, expanding its influence in the region. But this alliance was shaken after 9/11, when 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi nationals, leading to growing scrutiny of US-Saudi ties. Yet, the relationship persists and remains crucial to global oil, security, and geopolitics. So, now you know why Saudi Arabia is still one of America's most important partners, not just for oil, but for global power dynamics. But do you think this relationship will survive the next global crisis? Tell us in the comments below what you think about this US and Saudi partnership. Is it a smart strategy or a dangerous dependence? And if you love learning about world politics, hidden alliances, and global economics, make sure to subscribe to WorldWise and turn on the bell icon for more such powerful stories from around the world.